First, I think Senator Nyoto is very well versed with this year's theme of International Women's Day. It's called Accelerate Action. The number of times you have mentioned Jane Kagiri on this show shows your appreciation for women, their brains, their capacity, and what they can do. So I appreciate you for that. And please keep doing it at the Senate and also in Muranga County. Empower your women. That said, Sam, you've asked me in regards to where we are at with SHA. Yeah. And I appreciate that the president acknowledged and accepted that there are challenges with SHA yesterday. And some, for me, it's good to mention and tell Wakili. My background is computer science. And nobody should ever be lied to that any system is foolproof. There is always room for error. And that is why we pilot projects. And a pilot can even run up to 1 year. So when you see a wrong entry, that is bound to happen, and I'm sure it can be corrected. And necessarily does not mean that it is somebody who did it. It's just an error on the algorithm which allowed another entry to put details into somebody else's details. So that said, Sam, I would also want to mention, I think I'm beginning to feel that even as media, you need to hold us accountable for each and every word that we say out here. Some have been seeing a lot of members of parliament who accompany the former deputy president criticize and talk about SHA, SHIF, they even call it SHA, whatever. But some, we passed this bill in parliament in, I think, October 2023, where we brought in the fund of primary healthcare fund, we brought in SHIF and the emergency and critical illnesses fund. So when somebody out there is criticizing something that they approved and passed in parliament, they need to tell their electorate, is it that they were absent in parliament on that day, or is it that it was passed without their knowledge of what was being passed? So I believe, especially for members of National Assembly, when we stand to speak about SHA, we should be speaking about it constructively, because for me, the one thing I must state, and I keep saying whenever I'm on this panel, each one of us, it's very easy for us to say, SHA is not working, we can do away with SHA. But that's because hidden in our pocket, we have a medical card. What happens to the poor person in this country who has no medical cover or somewhere where they can run to? For me, I would say SHA must work, and it must work for us for every Kenyan by us fixing the challenges that are there. For me, I've walked around my county, and I gave you the last time, I think I was here, an example of a lady who told me in a place called Morocco that SHA paid for her 300,000 for operation on her leg. Another lady said her daughter had been in the Kenyatta National Hospital for a whole month, and she was paid for the bill by SHA. When I left the studio, many of my people called me and told me, Jane, we have no dispute. Inpatient is working, outpatient is not working. So those are some of the challenges that we are going to be highlighting to our government. The second thing, is there's something called the means testing. That is also another challenge our people are encountering. And I'll give you a very clear example of somebody who rents a house somewhere in Majengo, maybe in Nanyuki. The floor is concrete, the walls are concrete. When the